Hello and welcome to Cryptocat-Guru. We've heard you want to get rich quickly. Well, then we have good news for you, because bear markets make millionaires. We have made our highest returns investing during periods like this. But then the question is, where should you invest right now, and what if you only have $1,000 to invest? Well, we will provide you 3 strategies that could melt your face during the long run. So where would we put $1,000? Well, first we suggest, we are not a financial advisor and you should make decisions for yourself. If we were in your shoes, though, this is what we would do. We would save up that $1,000 and then we would make a plan, much like what we are about to lay out for you in this video. Then we would invest that $1,000 and then the crucial step, we would do it again. If you just do it once and stop, you will probably be very disappointed with the results of your investments. However, if you do it as frequently as you can, we think you will be very surprised and happy with the results. Most people call this dollar cost averaging, and the results can be pretty amazing. So, let's say you follow this idea, you save up $1,000. You invest it and you do it again and again and again. Where should you put that money? Well, the number one thing you can do, before you even spend that money, is spend your time learning and educating yourself. If you understand what you are buying and why you are buying it, wealth creation from those purchases will be 100 times easier. Knowledge is power. You can learn so much for free right here on YouTube just by watching videos. We are highlighting 3 different routes in this video: a safe route, a balanced route, and a risky route. First, let's talk about the safe route. And when we say safe route, we have to mention there's nothing truly safe in crypto or across investing in general. All investing has some inherent risk, no matter how safe it is. So it's up to you to decide for yourself how much you are willing to risk, but the first safe investment you should make is in our channel by helping us build a portfolio of videos that are going straight to the moon. The best way to do that is with a daily deposit in the old like button down below. It's free and it really helps, and also consider subscribing if you haven't already. Okay, so let's talk about the real safe investing plan, and my answer to that is Bitcoin. Now we know you're gonna say, that is boring, and my response to that is, first off, traditional investors out there in the real world look at us investing in Bitcoin as potentially crazy people. But yes, we do recognize in the crypto world, investing in Bitcoin is kind of a boomer move. But we're a proud crypto boomer, and we really do believe that Bitcoin is the safest place to put your money in all of crypto. Bitcoin has a 13-year track record, unlike pretty much everything else in the cryptocurrency space, and from its previous low in the last crypto bear market in 2018, when it was just under 3,300 per Bitcoin. It is up even in this depressed market. We're currently in by nearly 600%. As far as for other things that are also lower risk and safer investments in crypto, we think you could potentially make an argument for Ethereum as well. So for the safe investing plan, you could go 100% Bitcoin, or you could go 50-50 Bitcoin Ethereum, or different percentages, or whatever combo fits you best. So let's quickly talk about the pros and cons of this safe approach. First, with the pros. We believe this one has the least chance over the long haul of losing money. If you buy into Bitcoin, well, you buy into the best performing asset of the last decade, and if you invest into Bitcoin and or Ethereum using dollar cost averaging, it is completely set it and forget it investing. Now, as for the cons. Number 1 on the list is, well, you might miss out on truly astronomical and explosive growth. Like I've already said, it's not very exciting to just buy Bitcoin every week or every month. And in the crypto world, not the traditional investing world, this would be the slower path to wealth. But that is relative because it's still very fast compared to traditional finance. Okay, next up, let's talk about a nice old balanced route. This is our middle investing strategy, and just for the purpose of our example here, we are going to map out this approach. 50% of your $1,000 would go into Bitcoin, 40% would go into other cryptocurrency coins, and then 10% would go into some risky stuff. So what that could potentially look like is 500 into Bitcoin or 250 into Bitcoin, 250 in Ethereum, whatever combo you want to slice it up as. And then 400 into 2 to 4 different projects that are lower to medium or even a little bit higher risk. For us, this can be things like Avalanche, Polkadot, Solana, or Ecomi, and then your remaining 100 is going into the risky category. This can be things like Doge or Shiba. If you want to make a bet on long-standing meme coins, because memes have power, but let me just quickly say that our coin picks do not matter. You should do your own research and choose your own projects. Maybe there's some overlap, or maybe you pick the same things. It's up to you, it's your personal choice. The best cryptos to buy are the ones that you understand, that you believe in, and that fit whatever personal plan you've put together. So, what are the pros to this balanced approach? Well, the first one is this gives you a bit more access to potentially bigger returns. It's also a more diverse portfolio, so maybe there's some safety and numbers here. We think this approach is more fun because there's more things to learn about, to understand, and to spread your money across. Now, the cons of this are also much the same. There is more chance to lose more of your money outside of the things that we think are a bit safer. The rest of the stuff on a balanced plan like this are basically calculated risks. The last real con, in my opinion, is that it can be just super overwhelming to build something like this because you're exposing yourself to thousands of potential crypto projects out there to potentially invest your money into. It can be an option overload. Okay, now let's talk about going risky. This could be the full 1,000 into one single risky position and all your hopes and dreams pinned on that one single thing, with the potential upside being astronomical gains, the downside being you could lose all your money in one go. Or it could be taking $1,000 and putting into a couple of different higher risk, higher potential upside projects and spreading it out just a little bit. But the key theme here is these things are going to be higher risk and you're going to be diverting most of your money to these things. But let me give you some examples. First, now let's say you put $1,000 into Doge at the end of 2020. It would have turned into $304 to $5,000 at the peak price of Doge at its all-time high price. Another example is if you were to put $1,000 into Flux at the very beginning of 2021. That $1,000 would have turned into $208,000 at Flux's peak price. And one more example is maybe not as crazy as the other two, but still pretty impressive, is if you had put $1,000 into Avalanche at the end of 2020, it would have turned into over $51,000 if you had sold at the Avalanche all-time high price. Let's dig into that a bit more, but first let us make 2 quick points about what we just said. Number 1, we are absolutely cherry-picking those numbers and those timings of investing, buying, and selling. It's super easy to be a master investor if you use hindsight and look into the past to get results and numbers like that. You have to time it perfectly to where you buy at that market cycle's low and sell that market cycle's high. Way easier said than done. So, the second quick point here is that this is really not a realistic expectation for rewards or returns. However, if you do pick the right things, even if your timing isn't perfect, you can still make a lot of money doing this, but it requires so much luck, which is why we don't personally use this approach. So let's cover the pros and cons. The very first pro is that this method, if it were to go very well for you, it could be really life-changing money. If you do this approach and you pick just one thing to go all in on, and that one thing does extremely well, then you just utilize 100 of your funds to also do really well. The last pro is it's fun. However, there are plenty of cons, with the first one being this plan is extremely risky, if that wasn't obvious already. Secondly, we wouldn't really call the risky approach investing. We would call it gambling, because that's really what it does. It has maybe a higher chance of working out than the actual lottery, but is it still extremely unlikely to work out completely for you, which leads us into the next con, which is just the simple fact that you're much more likely to lose all your money than you are to actually find success. Doing the risky approach, it's also incredibly hard to just find good projects or the right projects. In this type of strategy, it's very much like a needle in a haystack, and to make that even tougher, there's just so many projects out there to choose from. And if you want to narrow it down to just a couple, it's a very tough prospect. I really just suggest being honest with yourself and choosing a plan that works for you, whether that's going the safe route, the balanced route, or doing the risky thing. Personally, we utilize the balanced approach. However, if we were brand new into crypto investing, we would probably go the safe route until we have built a firm foundation and then pivot over to the more balanced approach and start adding those other layers on top of it. We like to have a firm foundation first, before we start dipping our toes into the cool, refreshing water of the other approaches and getting our feet wet. The important part of all of this is just to take advantage of times like this, because this markets is where all the money is made. The very best method and strategy to actually make all that money, in our opinion, is to do dollar cost averaging strategy. So you really need to watch our video about the dollar cost averaging strategy in crypto. Otherwise, we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye, your Cryptocat-Guru.